Welcome back for another week of New Comic Book Day with Dark Horse. I am Kara, I am the social media coordinator, and with me we have a very special guest because today is like a massive Hellboy day, if you didn't already know. So joining me today we have...
Hi, Associate Editor Katie. I manage all of the Mignola books.
Yes, she is our source of all. So if you have questions about Hellboy, we'll talk about that later, but she's the one who can probably... at least try to answer them for you. So yeah.
Whatever we're allowed to answer,
right.
I can try to answer.
Some things will remain secret for now.
Top secret.
So we'll get to all the Hellboy stuff in just a second. Real quick, remember that if you want to win all of the books and comics you see here, I'm sorry, the miniatures are not included. But if you would like to win all of this, which is a really good spread today, all you need to do is share this video on Facebook. Just make sure that your share is public. Even if you have a private profile, it's okay, but you can set the share to be public. That way we can see it, and we'll get in touch with you tomorrow to let you know if you are the winner. So look back for that. If you have any questions about these comics in general, you can drop a comment below and we'll answer it today if we can, or next week in our next live video. And because we have so much to talk about today, I'm going to turn it over to Katie, so we're going to jump into the digital sales.
All right, so we have a Matt Kindt and David Rubin digital sale going on right now. In honor of the new Ether series beginning next week, we're offering deals on works by both Matt Kindt and David Rubin. Graphic novels up to 50% off and 99-cent single issues. So that includes Ether, Department H, Black Hammer, select Hellboy stories, and more.
Yes, both of those creators have been involved in a lot of works with Dark Horse, so that's a really diverse and really interesting sale. We'll drop links for that below when we're done here. We also have a World of Tanks bundle because we have a new World of Tanks series beginning today. So in this bundle, you'll get the entire Roll Out series, as well as the graphic novel, which as always includes some extras and sketchbook items. And that's all just $3.99. So that's at digital.darkhorse.com and in the app. And again, we'll drop some links below when we're done here. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, we're going to dive into the comics and a lot of Mike Mignola today.
All right. So first up, I know a lot of you have been waiting for this. BPRD The Devil You Know, number 6, first issue after a surprise return in number 5. Hellboy is back on Earth, and the BPRD struggles to understand his unwillingness to hunt the demon, threatening to turn the Earth into a literal hell. The Hellboy's back, but is he back? We'll see. So we have our standard cover here, which is by Max and Sebastian Fiamara, and we have a beautiful variant cover by Mike Mignola himself, both colored by Dave Stewart. And I'm going to show you a few of the interiors, but we have some surprise interiors I'm not going to spoil. So let me show you a few of the other pages.
Find out what the secret is.
So there you go. Beautiful interior art by Sebastian Fiamara on this issue.
I think his art is so perfect for this series.
And then you'll have to buy it to read the rest.
Read and find out. All right, we have a lot of comics today, so I'm gonna have to stand up to maneuver. We have World of Tanks Citadel number 1 today. So this again is a brand new World of Tanks series based on the very popular game. In this particular issue, we are going to the Eastern Front at the cataclysmic Battle of Kursk. And we are going to kind of go back and forth between the perspectives of some of the Russian soldiers and, of course, some of the German soldiers who are about to be involved in a cataclysmic battle of tanks. And if you have noticed, this is written by none other than Garth Ennis, which is pretty exciting, and it's very well researched. If you follow Garth Ennis, then you know he is very much a history buff, and it really comes through in these very well researched issues of World of Tanks. All the World War II details, the tanks are very accurately depicted as well. So if you are into World of Tanks, World War II, Garth Ennis, etc., you should definitely pick this up. It's out today in comic shops.
All right. Also out in comics today, we have Resident Alien and Alien in New York, number 2. Nurse Asta and Shaman 12 Trees earn Harry's complete trust and learn more about the newest mystery that's haunting him. Stranded on Earth, Harry's only hope of communicating with his home planet could possibly be found in New York City. Peter Hogan and Steve Parkhouse continue their unique, acclaimed science fiction murder mystery series. And we want to take a look at the interiors on this as well. Have some really beautiful work here.
This is a really, really fun series. This is the 5th miniseries, I want to say, in Resident Alien.
Yes, I believe it's volume 5. So good stuff to check out there.
And also in our single issues today, we have a conclusion. This is number 4 of 4 in Burger Book's Hungry Ghosts, of course written by Anthony Bourdain with Joel Rose. And in this issue, we are joined by artist Irene Coe, who you'll know from Legend of Korra, I'm sure, and one of my personal favorites, Francesco Francavilla. Each of them illustrated one of 2 stories in here. The one by Coe is about the Snow Woman, or Yuki Onna, and the second story is kind of an epic conclusion, I would say, at least for now, where the hungry ghosts Hidarugami seal the insatiable fate of famine-stricken villagers in the most voracious, unthinkable way possible when a stranger comes to town. I'll see if I can show you a little bit of Francavilla's art as well, just so you get a little taste, without any spoilers, of course. Just beautiful. And the cover, of course, is by Paul Pope. He has done the covers for most of these issues. And there will be a nice hardcover collection of these coming out later on, so stay tuned for news about that. But Hungry Ghost number 4, new from Burger Books, on racks today.
All right, and now we are on to books. So,
time for more Hellboy.
Back to Hellboy. So this is Hellboy Omnibus Volume 1, Seed of Destruction. As some of you, particularly our Hellboy fans, know, we are recollecting all of the Hellboy stories in chronological story order. Previously, they had been collected in publication order, but we jumped around a bit. So this is a great place to start if you're a new reader, if you're looking to get a little more information on Hellboy before seeing the new movie coming out next year. This would be a good one to pick up. So this begins, it's more than a 300-page book we have here. It starts with Seed of Destruction and takes you all the way through almost Colossus. So it's quite a few years worth of comics you have here. And this is the first of 4 Hellboy Omnibus volumes. And we will also have 2 short story volumes for everything that takes place before Seed of Destruction. And all 6 of these will be coming out through this summer. Yeah. So they'll all be available very soon. And first one out today, all new covers by Mike Mignola.
Yeah. And I think all 4 regular omnibus volumes are currently available for pre-order on our website if you want to check that out. The short stories will be coming up as soon as those are, all set to go. Oh, I'm gonna have to stand back up again, or am I? Oh, I got it. All right. So also today we have Beasts of Burden, Animal Rights, and trade paperback. This is one of my all-time favorite horror comics, seriously, ever. I first discovered it, as many of you did, in one of the Dark Horse collections. I think it was Dark Horse Book of Hauntings was the first appearance. This is, of course, by our favorite Evan Dorkin with art by Jill Thompson. And this is the first time this has been available in a trade paperback. This follows some paranormal investigators who are not your normal paranormal investigators. They're a bunch of dogs and 1 cat. They have to keep an eye on their sleepy little town of Burden Hill, which is infested with evil, including a cabal of evil rats, animals, and humans rising from the dead. You know, things like that you need to take care of for those humans who are oblivious to everything. So this is seriously beautifully done. One of my favorite horror series ever. If you haven't already checked it out, you should. If you have previous issues, this is a nice chance to get them all collected in one. And there's more Beasts of Burden coming out later this year. There's going to be a new mini-series, and then Jill Thompson will return to do some more as well, and we'll announce that as soon as we can. But watch our website for more details. And this trade paperback is available today.
Okay, next up, this is The Battles of Bridget Lee, Volume 2, The Miracle Child. 7 years after the death of her husband at the hands of alien invaders known as the Marauders, Bridget Lee now watches over the orphans left behind by the war at Farfall, a remote human outpost. After years of silence, the Marauders have begun raiding outposts, and they've targeted Farfall and its orphans. Chief Nursing Officer Bridget Lee must find a way to help her people survive. This is Volume 2 in the wonderful series by Ethan Young. It's suitable for young adult readers and up, so pick it up.
Yes, we love Ethan Young.
We do.
All right. Also, extremely excited to announce this one, Sherlock Frankenstein and the Legion of Evil. This is, of course, from the world of Black Hammer, and this is the trade paperback collection. So this includes all 4 issues of Sherlock Frankenstein and Black Hammer number 12. If you were wondering why that wasn't already collected in the Black Hammer trade paperbacks, it's because it's in here. because it kind of ties into this storyline a little bit more closely. And this, of course, Sherlock Frankenstein is one of the main villains that the Black Hammer used to fight. And this series follows many of the other villains that the Black Hammer fought, as his daughter, Lucy Weber, now a reporter, is trying to track down what may have happened to her father and all the other heroes of Spiral City. Here is a cover that Mike Mignola did, actually, for one of the issues of Sherlock Frankenstein. And there are many other beautiful variant covers in here as well. And, of course, an awesome sketchbook section in the back, full of David Rubine's beautiful artwork. Kind of goes through his process, which is always fascinating. And Jeff Lemire adds some commentary as well. So if you're a fan of Black Hammer, or if you're new to Black Hammer at all, you can absolutely start here. Ugh, getting tongue-tied. But any of these are a fantastic introduction to the universe that Jeff Lemire has been creating. And you get to know some of the villains, which is always fun. So this is out today as well. Again, Black Hammer number 12, as well as Sherlock Frankenstein numbers 1 through 4.
Next up, and for this to reach, Conan Omnibus Volume 4. This is a nice trade paperback. This continues with more acclaimed dark fantasy tales of hot blood and cold steel, including the adaptation of Robert E. Howard's Iron Shadows in the Moon and the return of Conan the Barbarian comics scribe Roy Thomas in Road of Kings. This collects Conan volumes 9, 10, and 11, and includes art by comics legend Joe Kubert and this beautiful cover by Carrie Nord. And let's take a look at some of these beautiful interiors. We have a few different artists working on this one, and it's really just some gorgeous stuff.
This is definitely one that Conan fans will enjoy, I think. High fantasy.
So yeah, for the Conan fans, pick that up, Volume 4.
And kind of changing pace here, we also have I Am a Hero Omnibus Volume 6. This, of course, continues the zombie manga, in which a zombie virus is threatening the globe. In this issue, or actually 2 issues, because each of our omnibus volumes collects 2 of the original Japanese volumes in one, so it's actually a really nice package. Hideo is starting to exhibit powers after being bitten by a zombie himself, and Hiromi also may after being bitten by a zombie baby. I don't know what's more terrifying than a zombie baby, really. So this is a fantastic horror manga if you love zombies, and I just can't recommend it enough. It's one of my favorite manga series that we publish right now. This is by Kengo Hanazawa, and Volume 6 again collects 2 of the original Japanese volumes in one. And finally, put that back, we have one last book that actually came out yesterday, accompanying the release of the new Pillars of Eternity game. This is Volume 2 of the Guidebook, focusing on the Deadfire Archipelago. So this game was actually funded by a crowdfunding campaign. You guys were such big fans of it that you brought it back, so well done. This is the sequel to our first Pillars of Eternity guidebook, and this one will bring you back to the history-rich world of Eora. And I will try to show you a couple of pages. If you're a game lore fan, which I am, here's some nice artwork, actually. This is absolutely chock full of lore. It goes through all of the currencies that they use, all of the peoples that inhabit the islands, all of the conflicts and battles and creatures, and just absolutely full of details. If you are into this game and lore at all, you will definitely want to pick this up. So that's out as of yesterday and in comic shops today, and it's about 2 weeks before that hits in the book market as well. And that is actually, we've actually come to the end of this very big new comic book day. Again, if you want to win all of the books and comics shown here, just share this video on Facebook and you'll be entered to win. Check back tomorrow to see if you have. If you have any questions about Hellboy, Katie can tell you a bit more about that.
If you have any questions about Hellboy or any of the rest of the Mignolaverse books, you can always shoot them to us at our letter column email address, which is hellmail, that's HELLMAIL @darkhorse.com, and I'll see what I can get in the letter column.
I love that it's called Hellmail.
Yep.
And there is a little bit more Hellboy news too, just before we sign off for the day. The Kickstarter for the Hellboy board game has been going super strong. It's still raising money, and the more that we raise, the more stretch goals that we receive, and that means more and more miniatures. So we've already earned things like the Baba Yaga, which we have our own little figure of in the front, but they have their own, miniatures for the game that they're printing, especially for when we reach these stretch goals. So the Baba Yaga has been reached, and today they just announced something that I'm very excited for, which is an expansion about Hellboy in Mexico. So
very exciting.
Check that out on Kickstarter.
There's more exciting stuff to come from them as well. It's been amazing working with them. They are huge fans, just like we are, and just like all of you are. So it's really been something very special. Mike
has been pretty involved with the process, making sure that characters look the way that they should and are colored the way they should be, providing the new art for the game box and things like that. So.
A lot of exciting stuff and very close involvement on our part.
Yeah. So check that out on Kickstarter. We keep sharing links on social, so look for those. It's done by Mantic Games. So if you are familiar with them, they do a lot of war games, and they know what they're doing. So
they do.
I think that's about it. We'll drop some links below after we're done here, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye guys.